Well, hey, Rad Kids parents, it's Pastor Brandon here. I hope that y'all are having a great week. I wanted to let you know about our next lesson that we're going to be doing on September 21st. If you were here at church over the last week or two, you heard Pastor Todd and Kelly talking about Back to Church Sunday, which is going to be September 21st. And there were invite cards that are at the campuses, and you need to be sure to grab some of those to invite to this big Sunday that we are trying to get people back in church. So we're going to be helping the kids be a part of this as well. So there are going to be invite cards at our Rad Kids locations, meaning in our Rad Kids areas where the kids can grab invite cards, and we're incentivizing the kids to bring a friend to church on this Back to Church Sunday, and they get 500 points for the Rad Kids store. We're also going to be doing ice cream for everybody on that Sunday. So grab invite cards, have your kids grab some, invite their friends. September 21st, they want to be there. Now, let me tell you about the lesson that we're going to be teaching on this weekend, September 21st. And remember, you're getting these videos when we do these way ahead of time. So you're going to get this video ahead of September 21st so that you can know what we're teaching and have a great conversation with the kids. But we're going to be in line with Pastor Todd and Kelly. They're going to be teaching from Romans chapter 8. And we're going to be focusing on Romans chapter 8, verse 1, specifically for that day, which says so that now there is no condemnation for those who belong to Christ Jesus. So that's going to be the Bible verse we focus on that day. We're going to be teaching a story where we're talking about from Acts chapter 9, where Saul stopped sinning. But this lesson is going to be all about forgiving myself. And I think this is a great lesson for all of our kids to learn, and also for kids who may have never experienced church, or let alone obviously probably haven't experienced Radiant culture and Radiant church and what it means to really be living this life. And I know we've been going through the teachings of Romans as adults, meaning as that's what Pastor Todd and Kelly have been teaching us, but we have wrapped up the 10 Commandments and now went into this lesson. So forgiving myself, this is a lesson where we're going to teach them all about how they can choose to forgive themselves. So this lesson, just kind of let me give you a little bit of context, just to kind of what this lesson is. This lesson is going to be all about reminding the kids that the things that they may have done, maybe it was bad or really bad. One of the things that we do is we beat ourselves up more than somebody else may tend to do that, or we have a hard time really letting things go. And really, when we release things to Christ, they're gone, right? He doesn't bring them back up to us. And we want to teach the kids this. God does not want us to live our lives full of guilt and condemnation. If we have confessed our sin, we must remember that it's no longer a part of us. It doesn't define who we are. So that's the idea. That's the concept that we're going to be teaching the kids on this day, and forgiving ourselves. And like I said, we're going to be teaching from the Bible story of Saul stopped sinning. So Acts chapter 9, verses 1 through 21. This story is where a young man named Saul, he was very bad. He was very mean. He was, very harsh and deadly to Christians at times. But he traveled around and arrested Christians. But what we see in this story is that that's not how God ended up keeping. Like, he didn't stay that way. God redeemed him. God transformed his life. And now this Christian killer, it was all behind. And God used him for some amazing things. So that's kind of the Bible. That's the Bible story. Remember, we're gonna put this stuff in there so you can see it. The other part of this is there's gonna be some points we teach this day. Is that first off, everyone has sinned. Secondly, God forgives all sin. And then lastly, leave condemnation behind. So through these points, we're going to really bring this home for the kids and teach them this idea that, for some reason we have a tendency to feel like we're the only ones who have ever done anything wrong. We're the only person that's ever messed up. And that's not the idea. And then God forgives it. So God didn't have a hard time forgiving Saul's sin. So he's not going to have a hard time forgiving our sin. Then the last point I said, leave condemnation behind. Condemnation has no place in the life of a Christian. So the verse that we focused on in Romans 8, verse 1, is that there's no condemnation. And that, it's so easy. We can just walk away from it, right? God has already sent his son to die for us on the cross, and he forgives us. We don't have to live in that. So we're teaching the kids this idea. So hopefully this gives you an idea, the concept that we're teaching in this lesson. Now you can be equipped as the parents, take this lesson, have the conversation with your kids, and really encourage them to get invite cards and to invite friends and to bring somebody, and you all invite some friends. There's adult invite cards. I don't have one of those handy, but this is the kids ones we're going to be giving out. So this is a great time, great opportunity for us to invite and for you to have good conversations with your kids around the dinner table. So I pray that you'll have a great week, and I pray that you are having a good time. Who really has a good time fasting? But I hope the Lord is doing great things as we're in the middle of the fast, and that God is moving in your life, and there's a breakthrough happening in your home. And so, anyways, please reach out if you have any questions or things that you need from us, and y'all have a great week.